Today on Let's Wine a Little, we have a special edition. We are coming in from Shelbyville, Tennessee at the Nearest Distillery. Join me as I go on an amazing tour, dig deeper into the history of Nearest Green, and I could have sworn we're going to get into a grilled cheese on crack. All of that and more on today's Let's Wine a Little. So after an amazing and inspiring tasting and book tour with Victoria and Dawn, I said, Gwendolyn, you need to get to Shelbyville, Tennessee and visit the Uncle Nearest Distillery. So Gwendolyn and Mr. Jack got in the car and drove 8 hours to Shelbyville. Now, I'm in North Texas. 8 hours is nothing for road trippers. So depending on where you are, plan accordingly. But let me tell you this, Uncle Nearest Distillery offers 5 immersive experiences when it comes to the tours, and it can range anywhere from $35 to $200, but they all include blending history, whiskey tasting, and storytelling. And I don't really want to call it storytelling because it is important for every person who visits to truly understand the history of this brand and everything that Uncle Nearest has brought to our tables. I guess you say like our tasting tables. So here's a quick rundown of some of the tours, right? So you can do the Nearest Green Distillery tour and tasting. That's like 1.5 hours. That's $35. And I want to say this too really quick. You want to purchase in advance. You can, of course, drive up and see what's available, but a lot of their tours sell out before the doors even open, so keep that in mind if you're traveling in. There is a taste of history that's 1 hour, and that goes for $55. There is a single barrel thieving, which is what Mr. Jack and I experienced. That's 1.5 hours. That is $75. You can label your own for 1.5 hours. That's $100. And then there is a master blender and tour and tasting. That's 1.5 hours, and that's $200, and that typically includes time with Victoria herself. So that's really snazzy. Now that comes on specific days. I admit I was looking for that. It was not available, so I couldn't go with it. Now, I just want to give you a little setup about what happens here. Now, this is just the foyer area as you go in, and then there is the store where you can purchase other items and your tickets. But there's a lot of history just in this room with the artifacts that they picked up from distillery number 7. And when you think about it, you're like, what's the big deal? The more you read about what they discovered and researched, the more you start seeing that it's not just a bottle of whiskey. There's so much more richness in there, and the portraits on the walls was crazy. So let me just give you a quick look at the tour itself. As mentioned, there are a number of artifacts from distillery number 7, which, hello, Jack Daniels. But the tour itself is more than just, hey, here's some things about Uncle Nearest. This is about Tennessee. This is about Shelbyville. This is about the impact of Black distillers on this market and this particular product. I gotta tell you, if you don't ever stop to truly learn and understand your history, you don't realize just how much of your people have impacted an entire nation, world, industry, etc. I left here with a different understanding and a deeper appreciation for the genius that so many Black persons brought and continue to bring to the alcohol, spirit, liquor industry. It's amazing. And so I just want to make sure that if you're coming, of course you can always come and skip this, but every single tour includes a place for history because it is important. And so now I want to take you guys into the speakeasy. And yes, there's a special knock to get in.
Well, it's not really a speakeasy as we've been drinking and dancing, right? But it does give you an idea where you might have found one in that time period. It's the white sash and the yellow roses, which I'll get to shortly. The women of the suffrage movement were completely committed to all issues of women's rights, including the right to vote. For decades upon decades, they marched, they debated, they were harassed, even arrested. We women today owe them a debt of gratitude. But by the summer of 1920, their goal of giving women the right to vote was down for the count. 35 of the 48 states had ratified the 19th Amendment that would give women the right to vote, but they had to have 36 states for it to become law of the land. And governor after governor, the remaining 13 states refused to vote on it. It came down to the very last state. And that was this wonderful state of Tennessee, when the Tennessee governor said, all right, we'll hold a special session of the House and we'll vote on that. Set the date for that vote to take place on August the 18th, 1920. On that day, women from across the country, come on in. There's a couple of seats down here. On that day, women from across the country swarmed into Nashville. And when the Never Say Die attitude, they marched, wearing their white dresses and their white sashes. This did not say white line, because everything imagined, yes, I know that was the Nashville law, and everything imagined was thrown at those women. Rotten eggs, rotten fruit and vegetables. But they persevered because they had a mission, urging those Tennessee representatives to vote yes on the important 19th Amendment. One of those Tennessee representatives was 24-year-old Harry T. Byrne, youngest member of the House. And he knew, he was young, he was green, he was learning, and he knew in his heart how he wanted to vote for that amendment. But his constituents were telling him, no, we don't want you to vote yes on that amendment, because they were overwhelmingly against women having the right to vote.
Now there is a video that plays during this part of the tour that goes deeper into not only women's suffrage, but also how Uncle Nearest impacted Jack Daniels. And my husband and myself were both left feeling it was a mix of pain and also pride. I had a little anger in me because when you think about all of the persons, all of the enslaved people, and the inventions that they created, the genius that they had, and the fact that because they were enslaved, they were not allowed to have patents, you start really adding up how much has actually been stolen from so many families. So I applaud everyone at Uncle Nearest who brought the history, who did the research to say, let me tell you how this really went down. Not just what you've heard from one person or another. There's real research here. Now the tour continues. We get to go into the rick house. And the rick house is where all the barrels are stored. Now this is one of the most beautiful properties in Shelbyville, in my opinion. Now, obviously, there are horses here because this was a place where they did raise horses and what have you, and there are still horses on the property. We didn't go into that area, but we did get a chance to go into the rick house. Let's take a look. Give you a few more ideas and tips for your tour because I know you're going to go. Yes, it is located again in Shelbyville, and you want to wear some really comfortable, supportive shoes. We had a 1.5 hour tour. But there's far more walking and standing up than there is sitting. So think about what you're wearing. Consider the weather. We just so happen to have on and off showers because it's spring and there's a lot of that sort of severe weather down here in the South around that time. So consider what you're going into, but wear your supportive shoes and dress for the weather. There is a place for a Spanish language tour that is offered, but you want to check availability. And what's also cool too is that you can bring your camera. If you'll see here, you can take your personal photos, you can video particular sections of the tour, but there is no flash or professional shoots or sessions available on their property. So think about that. Also, too, which I didn't mention when we were standing outside, is that there are horses on site. Now, this is private property, so you're not going to get that, but there is a place where we're going to visit the rest of the distillery, but horses are still on the premises. Now, we're here in the Rick House, where we're getting a really quick lesson on the whiskey and the making of the whiskey and what makes it special for Tennessee and all those things. Again, if we were in Kentucky, we'd get the exact same thing. Are some of the details proprietary? Yes, they are. However, the lessons given here are high level and general information. It's very entertaining, but also, I should say, educational. So if you've never thought about it, you're wondering how long these barrels are here on the racks, they're going to let you know. And yes, you can record that because nothing shared here is proprietary. So let's just take a quick listen to our tour guide as to what he had to share with us.
What's going to encounter is plates at 45-degree angles on either side, called beer trays. So think of them as like spaghetti strainers or coppers. Pull small diameter holes to slow them to mash so steam can rise up from the bottom and help separate that alcohol out of the mash. So when you get that vapor being formed, that's called a distilled spirit. Okay? You take that distilled spirit back to the top. It's going to bend off into something called a worm or condenser. So you ever seen the TV show Moonshiners? Got the little copper pipe that's coiled up, sitting in that cold water. That's what we have here too. That coil is going to be so ice cold that whenever a gaseous form touches the parts of it,
Personally, I think it's cool to know that once these barrels have done their job here, they go on to other places to still do some work. Can you imagine? That's what we're talking about. You don't have to throw everything away. You can definitely recycle some things. Now, we're going into the bottling area. And the bottling area being what it is, bottling and proprietary, there is no pictures allowed. There is no video allowed. We are able to go in there. We saw them bottling. We saw them doing the labeling. They talked about distribution and packaging and the whole 9 yards. But that is the one place that before we walked inside, we had to put away our cameras and anything that could record anything. So be advised. And we are now ready for what we really came here for. We are here for the tasting and we are here for the thieving. Now here's the deal. We had a great time. And again, you can choose what you want to have on your tour. This particular tour included a tasting of the 1856. It included tasting of the master blend. And then we were able to thieve from 2 barrels, right? So nothing that's been bottled. Here's the deal though. What Uncle Nearest does extremely well, and I'm sure other distilleries do it too, is they typically offer a lot of whiskeys or whatever their alcohol is that is only available on the premises. So these 2 particular ones were only available at the distillery. And so if you don't come to the distillery to taste it or purchase it, you're never gonna get it. Don't you love that? Who doesn't love a little exclusivity? So let's take a listen to our tour as he talks about some of the tasting and then also what it means to thieve.
I use the barrels of the best to make this. And we never know what the proof is going to be. Not until it's in that bottling facility and we put it inside the bottle. Alright? So, what you're going to have on this master blend, this is number 51, and this is arranging at 123. Proof.
Damn. That sounds good.
Tasha, you okay?
Cells. Because the natural pheromones emitting from your body kills foreign smells. Think about it. Whenever you go past a roadkill like a skunk and it smells so bad, you cover your face, you might throw your upper lip to your nose, things like that. They naturally smell your pheromones, which kills foreign scents. Now, if you were to old normal old school methods, they have a hydrometer that looks like a bobber floating in the product. It's something called a tri-box. If you go to Jack Daniels, they still use this method. It's going to measure the proof of the whiskey by bobbing up and down and staying in that certain range, but it's also going to come with a thermometer. You have to take it to a book. Those numbers you get from the thermometer and the hydrometer together to give you your proofs. Now, newer technology, you got it all into one. This is a handheld device that measures the temperature and the proof all together to give you the correct number. So that's what I'm gonna do to get these numbers of these barrels over here. All right. So I'm not sure how much rain is drizzling outside, but I know that that'll be another group coming inside. All right. So if you want your radio, not radios, switch topics out here. But if you want your waters, take those, which I think you should, because if you got some kids, you got sports games, put your lip inside of those.
Mr. Jack is not the biggest person who drinks whiskey, but he did participate a little bit. He didn't do any of the thieving, but he did participate in tasting the two that were at the table. Gwendolyn, like a lot of the other persons who joined in, decided to go all in when it came time to take a little bit out of those two barrels. And we had two different kinds. There was a rye, and then there was the regular, and God forbid, I forgot what that one was.
Oh,
That's
Right, so you have a choice. You can drink one barrel, drop both barrels. But I won't allow you guys to get too much. All right, just enough to wet the whiskers, give it a good taste. All right. So thing is, all right, a thiever is just a giant copper straw. Okay, this is it. So you know you're gonna go to a little mix, get a little cocktail or something with your hubby, with your girl, and you want to try that drink. Just take your normal straw, dip it in there. That's exactly what this is. All right. So you're gonna take this, stick it into the barrel, go down, not touch the bottom. Get a little bit, put your thumb over top, draw it up, put your thumb off of it, get yourself a little bit. You don't fill it up, don't fill your glass up. Because I'm only supposed to give you enough to get a taste, not get drunk. Those are yours. So just enough to cover the bottle is all I would recommend. Sit down. Go first. Don't be scared. Just be confident. There you go. Put your thumb on it, because you gotta capture it. And then pull right up. Feel heavy? There you go. I see.
Oh, wow. You got a lot.
You got a lot of that. Are you gonna try this?
No.
Yeah, I'm testing it right now. Just enough to get that much right there. That should be good. And I can't, because if you're gonna try both of them, I can't overserve it. Who's next? There's a thing of overserving. Yeah, really? The thing of overserving. Don't have to buy it. We do. It's not part of your, it's not part of this open taste, but you're working, you can taste right. So one side is rye whiskey, one side is our normal single barrel. So it's going to be totally different flavor profiles. One is rye whiskey and one is Tennessee whiskey.
I'm so happy that they provided bottles of water, and yes, typically with the tasting there are bottles of water because you start tasting stuff and it starts going to your head a little fast. In this particular case, both of these were amazing. We're not gonna lie about that. And some of my counterparts who enjoyed, they stole a lot out of those barrels versus just a simple tasting. But everybody gets to choose. Like, you paid for something, you get your money's worth. However, they do like to check how much you are taking out of the barrel because they understand that they're still serving alcohol, right? So we have to be cautious in those respects and be responsible for our guests. I will say that. Now, the tour is completely done at this point. That 1.5 hours, it goes by fairly quick. The entire staff is so inviting and so welcoming. It's really hard to not have a good time at these. After this, I decided that obviously I want to see more of the property, and there is of course a bar and a restaurant on site, so we're not done just yet. And there is also this thought that, golly, it would have been great to have beautiful sunshine here, but these rocking chairs are so inviting, and you cannot help but sit there and just marinate and think and let your dreams run wild like the horses. So we're here and we're looking at some extra stuff. I will say this though, we do get to keep not only the water bottles, but the tasting glasses. So we already had glassware that they will happily wrap for you in the store. But of course, a lot of times you end up taking more than what you came. And we did, of course, come home with a full set of every single variety of Uncle Nearest. And this wall, this is one of the most attractive, photogenic walls I have ever seen in a retail store. Absolutely gorgeous. The lighting, you can't get over it. But let's talk about the bar. So this is Humble Baron at Nearest Green Distillery. This is 518 feet. It has 17 bar stations and seating for 202 guests. This has also been certified by the Guinness World Records in March of 2023 as the longest permanent continuous bar on Earth. I know. Now, there is a live music stage. They have a great chef on site. They can also do a number of signature cocktails, but I came here for Barrel House because I want to try this grilled cheese on crack. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can even get all of that at the store. You know how they make some of those special things?
Oh, yeah, you got that one.
Well, there is that one that's only available here, so you got to get. That's a good point. How much would something like that cost? A little spicy on that. Whoa. Oh my goodness. You know the food is good when it makes you dance, so I want to revisit really quick the book tour that happened earlier this year before I talk about some of the financial challenges that Uncle Nearest is currently facing, which includes a $108 million lawsuit, as well as court-ordered receivership. I'm going to get into that, but let me show you again what went down earlier this year.
How have you changed Shelbyville? Being a California girl.
She used to be a California girl.
I'm a Tennessee.
Don't Tennessee. I don't know the last time you came to Shelbyville, but even the spirit in the town is different. Since the distillery opened in September of 2019, my goodness, things have changed. The mindset of the people have changed. The traffic at the airport. We got rappers coming into town. But really, it's totally different. And you're seeing other businesses showing interest, got more restaurants. I can't say that Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey can take the credit for all of that. But I grew up just down the highway in Lynchburg. I live in Murfreesboro, have since '81. I haven't seen any type of growth in Shelbyville ever. That's it. He's from Murfreesboro.
Yeah, I know that.
So the biggest thing that Shelbyville had to offer was the rodeo. Now we got the black rodeo. And it's a whole lot of fun, you know. And who's the title sponsor? So it really has. It's changed the landscape. Of course, the Weavers have bought every other property down there. On the bank. Got other properties in Shelbyville. And so it's driving in more and more business. But what I have seen and appreciate more than anything is the mindset and the heart of the people.
And our people don't have to leave town to get a good job.
That's right. Oh, yeah, white, everybody. Thank you for asking that.
I love that.
That's good.
All right, here's it. Okay, listen, give this woman the mic because no matter what, she has not put down.
I would be a liar if I said I wasn't biased. So what's happening right now with them, I'm going to take with a grain of salt, but understand this. Their most celebrated whiskey to date is their 2025 Master Blend Edition, which is now available nationwide. It has 888,000 collector bottles, which was already sold out on some websites before it even hit the stores. Just know that when you have a product that is true to who you are, and when you are authentic, customers will show up for you and everything will work out as it should.